What's going on, everyone? How you doing? This morning heard the Valuenaire. It's a little early this morning. Hold on 1 second. Let me roll the windows up. It's a little loud out here. But good morning. Thought I would come on here and just kind of share some value with you all. Now, just to let you know, the group of people I'm speaking to are the majority, the 80% of individuals that are still really looking to get their footing in the financial game. Right? It seems like you've been working 5, 10 years, some of you 3 years. I know that there's a lot of you who are new in the working world, new in the financial world, and it's been about 3 years. I've met, as a matter of fact, I'm a track coach for high school, and some of my I've been coaching long enough that now some of my previous athletes are adults. They're out here. They're 20, they're 21, they're 22, and I believe I may have a few that have graduated college already. I don't think I've been coaching that long. I've been coaching since 2019. So yeah, I would have some athletes out of high school. I mean, out of college now. And some of, not all of them, but some of them call me and say, "Hey, coach, I know you're familiar with this, and why is it so hard out here? What's the struggle? Why is money so important? Why is money so hard to get?" And I tell them money is not hard to get. It's just that a lot of us weren't taught how to get the money. Okay, it's like the money's behind this glass wall, and no one told you that all you gotta do is break the glass, and you're sitting there with your palms against the glass and your face pressed against the glass, and no one has told you how to break the glass. So it's not that money's hard to get, it's just that you just weren't taught about money. The only thing you were taught about money was to go work for it, go get a job and trade your time for money. And no one ever showed you how to trade your efforts for money or get others involved in your money making process. And and the reason I'm choosing my athletes is that a lot of people live right there the rest of their lives. Right when they graduate college or whenever they get into the workforce, their financial education ceases. It stops right then, and the rest of their life, they are that is their financial foundation. Work, trade time for money. When you see, you still even now, even at this point, it is July 2026, and things are going up. Everything is costing more. Gas is costing more. Food is costing more. But you still see people who are doing well financially. And why is that? That's because they know they know how to break the glass. They know how to break the glass. So now I'm not speaking to everybody. Everybody, this is not for everyone. I know some people you may stumble across this podcast like, oh, that's simple stuff. I did that back in the 80s. Hey, congratulations. I would have hoped you shared this with a few people. Okay? But that's not who this is for. So here's what I'm going to suggest that you do. All right, these are just suggestions. I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your money. I'm that you make that determination. But what I am going to suggest is that you start to get educated. Okay? You start to get educated. On how, hold on. Okay. All right, I'm trying to get my mic together. All right, there we go. Hopefully you can still hear me. Okay. You got to get educated on financial matters. All right, now what I've found is that a lot of people will not go get educated because they feel like they're behind. I should have learned this when I was a teenager, or I should have learned this in my early 20s, and they feel like they're behind. Well, if I start now, I'm 27 or I'm 30 something or I'm 40 something, I'm not going to have enough time to accumulate. And that is completely untrue. Completely untrue. My dad started in financial matters when he was in his late 30s. All right. And he started investing in mutual funds and things of that nature, and really kind of learning how some outside financial information. As a result, today, my dad is 83. What he did in his 40 years ago, all right, almost 40, over a little 40 years ago, is paying him today. It's right now between his money from work, because he had a job when pensions were still a thing. Money from his job and money from his investors are paying him right now. My dad is doing extremely well. Extremely well. All right. We don't know how long we're gonna be living, but a lot of people think they don't have time. Well, if I learn, first of all, they say it's gonna take me a year to learn this. Then it's gonna take me. Well, here's the thing: the time is gonna pass whether you're doing it or whether you're not doing it. It's going to pass whether you are doing it or whether you are not doing it. So I'm going to suggest that you do it. Get financially educated. Now, there is a ton of financial information. A ton. And I'm not going to say one is better than the other, but I'm going to suggest that you start reading and get you some type of financial coach. Someone that's going to help you with your mindset. It's not so much about the money, it's about your mindset. How do you feel about money? What do you think about money? If you think money is bad, then you won't have any. If you think money is just willy-nilly just grows on trees, you won't have any. If you think being wealthy is bad, you'll never be there. If you think being rich is bad, you'll never be there. If your mind says just, oh my gosh, these bills, oh my gosh, these bills, you'll just have bills. So I'm going to suggest you read, take your time reading and educating yourself, and get you some type of financial coach. It could be a CPA. It could be somebody that may be a few steps ahead of you. It could be a course. Get something that you're going to be learning from. Get books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich. Get books on how to pay less in taxes. Get books on investing and stocks. Not saying that you're going to get into it, but the wording in the books, the vocabulary. You'll have a different vocabulary. So I'm not saying that you're going to do everything that Robert Kiyosaki does. You're going to do everything that Napoleon Hill does or Craig Hill does. Not to say you're going to trade stocks. Not to say you're going to get in Forex, but you're going to learn the language. You're going to start to learn the language. And then after a while, money won't be so scary. You won't have such a repellent to it because now you're starting to understand it. And say, oh, money's not bad. And then you'll start to learn that, oh, I'm in control of this. Money is money. Money's not going to change. Money is money. Money is just a medium of exchange. Money could be anything. You could have a pair of shoes that someone wants, and they could have a coat that you want, and then you exchange it. I'll give you these shoes. Excuse me. You give me that coat. That's money. It's a medium of exchange. Medium means in the middle. Something happens in the middle, from you to them and from them to you. In that exchange, in the middle is the medium, and the shoes and the coat is the money. So that is not going to change. The medium of exchange is not going to change, right? It could be dollars. Okay? It could be dollars for your medium of exchange. But then so then get yourself a coach, right? Not so much for the learning, but for the accountability, being accountable, holding you accountable for doing the work, showing up on the call, or showing up to the meeting, or showing up to the event. All right, where you're being held accountable. Okay? Now, I can't make you any promises. I can't make you any promises that you're going to be rich. I can't make you any promises that you'll be wealthy. But I will make you a promise that the way you see money will change. You'll start to understand what those individuals on those financial talks are talking about. And then you'll start to put money into the market. See, the market is always going up and down, 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 up and down. But the trend is going up and to the right. I got involved in this investment program called Invest with Roots. Invest with Roots is a co-op investment program that allows you to invest in real estate without owning the real estate. So you invest in Roots, and Roots goes out and buys property. And you have an opportunity to invest in shares of property. You'll have shares of an apartment, shares of a home, shares of some type of commercial building, whatever they decide to buy. Now, when I first got started, this is back in 2022 or 2023, every share was worth about $1. No, it was every share at the time when I discovered Investment Roots. Every share is about $117 a share. Although they suggest you start with investing $100, right? You start with $100. You don't have to buy a whole share, but you start with $100. Right now, this was 2022, 2023. I'm going to say 2022. All right. Right now, every share is worth about $160. I could look it up. But every share went up by $40 over the last 4 years. Now, I don't know the math, what percentage increase that is. What is that? 40 divided by 160, 20, 180, 10, 40. Let me see my math. 40 over 160, and then we got 20 over 80, then we got 10 over 40. What is that? 25%. Wow. Now, my math could be off. I know you'll be like, dang, your math is horrible, but you do the math. Anyway, it's a percentage increase. It might be 20%. Might be less than that, but I'm just trying to do my math. But anyway, so over a 3-year period, every share went up $40. Okay? And on average, I'm earning 12 to 13% a year on the money I invest. Now, is that going to make me rich overnight? No. But if I continue on with that process, $100 a month, $150 a month, $250 a month, $500 a month, as long as that process is around, which I don't see it going anywhere, because Property is always going to be available to purchase. People are still going to be investing in real estate. People are still going to be buying homes and lands and things of that nature. So let's say 20 years from now, Investment Roots is still around. Just like Fidelity is still around. Just like Charles Schwab is still around. Just like Ernst & Young is still around. Just like Goldman and Sachs is still around. 20 years from now, Investment Roots could still be around. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go, but let's say it's here 20 years from now. And over the last 20 years, I've been being, $500 a month. That's $6,000 a year times 20. What is that? $1.2 million? All right, or 120,000. Okay. So, and it just continues to grow. So, today is just getting you to the point to where you are changing how you think. You're changing how you see money. And that's going to come from reading, educating yourself, and getting yourself a financial coach. Somebody who's going to hold you accountable. Someone's going to hold you accountable for your actions and say, hey, did you do this? Hey, did you do that? Hey, did you read this? Okay? Now, you can do it. You can also not do it. You can do it and start to learn and get better. You can not do it and not get better. And 5-10 years from now, you'll be complaining about the market. You'll be complaining about your money. You'll be complaining. While others who took the chance, the others who took the risk, could be living the dream. All right? There's nothing wrong with wanting more. There's nothing wrong with wanting your family to be comfortable. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to feel guilty or bad that you want more for yourself. Somebody out here has it. There's a guy in my gym right now driving a Lamborghini Urus. He pulled up with that thing. It was like, I was like, oh my gosh. He's like, hey man, I'm living the dream. I've always wanted to do this stuff. My family's good. We don't worry about anything. And the thing he loves that he's like, I get a chance to help others and teach others and show other people how to do this. I said, this is amazing. Okay, so Marlon Heard the Vallionaire. I hope you got some value from this message. Come join us in the Budget Boys free community. We have a lot of great value in there, a lot of great free information. And then we got some steps that you can take, some things that you can invest in to help get you better. So, Marlon Heard the Vallionaire, we'll see you on the inside.